Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video I'll be giving you initial impressions, what I felt about using the new Pixel 9 series smartphone. I have the regular Pixel 9 and the Pixel 9 Pro XL with me. And guys, this is not a full in-depth review because I got the review units late. I just got it about 2 days ago, so I feel it's not fair to give title it as a full review. That will take a little bit more time. But in the past 48 hours I have used these devices a lot. In fact, the Pixel 9 Pro XL quite a bit, and now I have quite a few things to talk about, and I'll broadly divide this video into 3 different parts. You can have the timestamps. First, I'll talk about the hardware, some of the changes that I've noticed compared to the older Pixel 8 series, and next is many of you have also asked me about the new Tensor G4. I'll talk about that, what I felt, what is a little bit different when I have also actually used the Pixel 8 Pro quite a bit, so I'll talk about that. And lastly, I think so these devices, the new devices by Google, even if you talk about the base Pixel 9, it's largely about AI and the Gemini model. So I have actually used it quite a bit. Some of the things are genuinely useful in terms of AI, and some are borderline gimmicky, I would say. But let's have a closer look at the same. This is the Pixel 9. Of course, it's smaller, having a 6.3-inch screen. Again, it's an OLED screen. This is also again 120 hertz, so that's actually a nice thing. Both of them actually get this new ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. So that's actually really nice, very fast, I would say. So that way, it's an improvement. Big difference apart from that is the camera. This one has one more lens. I'll talk about that later. And also in terms of build, okay, there is a difference here on the border. If you notice, this is having that mattish design, and the back is also glass, but this is sort of clear glass. Here it's a little bit different. Here you have a stainless steel kind of a finish, again flatter compared to the older Pixel 8 Pro. This was rounded, so I like it's flat. Very similar to the new iPhone Pro series, I would say. It's like that, and looks nice. And it's again, this one is also completely flat, rather than the Pixel 9 Pro, which was like curved from here. This is a like flattish design, and also this one is now having a matte kind of a design, so no fingerprints or anything. Here it's sort of a clear glass, so in this light colors it won't be visible, but if you are going for the darker colors, yes, the fingerprints will be visible on the regular 9 series. Also in terms of in-hand feel, I thought this will feel a lot more bulkier or something, but that's not the case. I would say if you have used the older Pixel 8 Pro, the weight difference is almost the same. This feels slightly better in the hand, I would say, because of these flattish design. Also, one small thing that I notice is that the buttons are a lot more clicky. That gives a reassuring feel. So in terms of build quality, I do not have a problem. But one strange thing, if you notice, I will zoom in, and here if you notice on this metal edge, it is written made in China. Generally that used to be written here very small like this, but this is very evident on the regular Pixel 9, because it's having a matte screen. Here also it's there, but it is not visible. But on the Pro series, as it's having the stainless steel kind of a design, this is very evident. I don't know why they put it here. Let me know your thoughts about it. Again, in terms of hardware specs, guys, here are all the hardware specs. Again, one physical nano SIM we'll get, and the other SIM will be the eSIM. Back again, if you notice, the visor has changed compared to the older Pixel 9. Older Pixel 9 had this bar like this, and this one is like this. I feel this looks a lot better, I would say. So in terms of looks and design, I would say this is the best looking Pixel series as of now. Also, one thing that Google is telling us that now this is having that Acuta Display. Both of these are actually having Acuta Display. This Pro definitely goes slightly brighter, but if I have to compare it in terms of maximum brightness in outdoor sun, I would say this sits in the middle of flagship Android smartphones. Definitely it is way brighter than the this is the Xiaomi 14 Ultra camera centric smartphone with Leica thing. Definitely brighter than this one, but the screen in outdoor scan is not as bright as the S24 Ultra. Don't get me wrong, most of you will be happy, but I just wanted to be clear that this is not the brightest display out there, but definitely even in outdoor sun it is easily visible. One strange thing that I've noticed, and some of you might not notice this if you haven't been using the older Pixel smartphones, is that haptics have always been done very well on Pixel smartphones. That is the same case even with this one. I tested even with the regular Pixel 9. But I feel the intensity of the haptics, Google has lowered it slightly. I went inside the settings and I checked it was at max. But I felt that the haptic feedback, that vibration intensity is slightly lower compared to older Pixel phone. Not a deal breaker, but that is something that I have noticed. In terms of camera performance, I would say if you're expecting a huge difference compared to the Pixel 8 series, I would say that's not the case. The pictures that I took with this one feel very, very similar to the Pixel 8. Now let's move to the thing that most of you have asked me, and I've made down notes and all these things, that is regarding the processor, the G4 processor. And here I would say, in terms of heating, this smartphone heats considerably less compared to the Pixel 8 Pro XL that I have. Pixel 8 Pro they call it. That is evident, I would say, while even setting up the phone, everything while using it, and even on mobile data, this smartphone barely just got warm at the back. Whereas the Pixel 8 Pro here at the back used to actually feel hot to touch, especially when we're using it on mobile data. That is not the case. So definitely in terms of that heating issues that we used to have, that as of now is sort of a lot better. I have to say this one has to be one of the best. In fact, very, very similar to, I was also using, this is the Fold 6 that has the latest Qualcomm processor, and even the Ultra that is having the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. In fact, I would say in terms of heating, this Pixel has controlled it quite a bit. But I think so, Pixel team knew the heating issues on Pixel. That's why in terms of you running raw benchmarks on this smartphone, the benchmark scores on Antutu were just shy of 1.2 million, which is actually way, way lower compared to the flagship Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which comes very close to 1.9. Even if you put it in the boost mode or what a maximum performance mode of some of the smartphones can touch almost 2 million. So that way I would say in terms of raw performance, yes, if you are the benchmark nerd, definitely this goes down. But in day-to-day activities, I would say they have worked on this processor, and this processor never felt laggy or janky. In fact, in terms of scrolling, this was an issue with the older Pixel, especially the Twitter feed, or even if you open YouTube, let it just load. While scrolling, I used to get some jitters on this one. That is actually not there on this one. So that way I would say Pixel team has optimized this smartphone quite a bit. I think so they were not going for the raw benchmark performance, but improving the thermals and the end user experience. One thing that I do not like is that these smartphones are super expensive. In fact, the Pro XL in India cost almost very close to the Samsung S24 Ultra, which is a pretty expensive smartphone. But for some reason, I did run some benchmarks and stuff for this. I don't know. When I was loading apps side by side, if it's not in memory, I felt this was slightly, it was taking half a second longer to load, and I think so that is because of the storage type used on this one. This is definitely not UFS 4 storage like we see on other flagship Android smartphones that have UFS 4. This feels like having a UFS 3.1 storage. So that is something that I've noticed. Again, you will not notice this thing if you are not using other flagship Android phones side by side and just timing in and seeing how fast it loads. Once it loads, it's done. Also, some of you have asked me how's the RAM management. I feel the RAM management has been done very well on this smartphone. And this is the first time Google, even for the regular Pixel 9, they are giving 12 gigabytes of RAM. And on the Pro series, they are giving 16 gigabytes of RAM. And I think so this is done intentionally because of the AI model. Google is running the Gemini Nano locally on this smartphone. So that model is mostly there in memory. And that is the reason I think so they are giving 12 gigabytes of RAM even on the base variant. And these Pro versions are getting 16 gigabytes of RAM. So that way, RAM management has been good. Memories, apps that you load recently, etc., are always there in memory. That loading time is not there. So that way, I would say in terms of fluidity, I did not have any issues in terms of fluidity with the smartphone. Next thing is, again, this is something that I don't like. Fortunately, in India, that is not the case. In the international market, Though this is a pretty expensive smartphone, both the Pro XL or the Pro and even the base variant, they come with 128 gigabytes of storage. Fortunately, at least in India, they are selling it with Flipkart, Reliance, and even Chromance. The base variant, what I'm seeing there is at least the 256 gigabyte variant. And I also got the 256 gigabyte variant for both the Pixel 9 and the Pixel 9 Pro XL. So at least in India, they are not trying to sell us the 128 gigabyte variant. But again, in the international market, be careful. The base variant starts with that 128 gigabytes. And for the price, what they're commanding this one, this is just a rip-off, I would say. Anyways, moving to next thing some of you have asked me, and that is regarding the charging speeds on this one. And as you can see from the screenshot, I have this charging cable which actually shows the amount of watts that it is pushing in. And here with the Pixel 9 Pro XL, I was charging this smartphone and maximum it was pulling was just 25 watts. And the sad thing is that in the box, you don't get anything. You just get the charging cable, but no charger. So I was using one of the Motorola's fast charger. That is the 120 or 125 watt charger that I charge most of the smartphones with that. But it refused to pull more than 25 watts on this one. I know some of the reviewers have said that they were able to pull in 37 watts of charging, but I think so for that you need a specific other charger. And I hate this trend, what Apple has charged. Many of the new smartphones only charge that full rated capacity only with specific chargers, and they have stopped actually bundling those chargers in the box. So again, if you're having a slightly older charger, this is almost a 1-year-old charger, you might not get the full charging speeds. I was getting maxing out at 25 watts, but yeah, with the Google specific charger, again you'll have to buy that. It can charge up to 37. The good thing is that the first 50% of the charge was done in 30 minutes. I started charging when it was at 6%, and to get to that complete 100%, it took 1 hour 30 minutes. So yes, it's still not super fast charging, but at least that first 50% of the charge, you can get it in 30 minutes. So that is regarding the charging. So I have saved some screenshots for the battery charge. This was the last one. And as you can see, no, this was not the last one. Let me just go down. Okay, let me show. Okay, this is the one. We got a screen on time of 6 hours 51 minutes. Over that slightly full 24 hours of usage. And this was, guys, mixed usage. You could say 30% of the time I was on mobile data, that is 5G I was getting out of the box, and rest 70% on Wi-Fi. So I got a screen on time of 6 hours 57 minutes. And this, I had still had, 6% battery left. One thing you'll notice that this is the standard screenshot app, but here, because of the AI, it actually pulls in information. It tries to understand what is that screenshot and gives you info. In fact, says the graph shows the battery level since the last full charge, total screen on time 6 hours 51 minutes. YouTube used this much, Chrome used this much, XXX. So this is generated by AI. So this is a new screenshot app, and it's sort of intelligent. It tries to pull in information, what is there in the screenshot, and also you can use it for searching. Let's say you have thousands of screenshots, you can just search easily. So that's a nice thing. Quick interruption from the future. As I was editing this video, I've covered the basics, first the hardware point of view, and also about the Tensor G4. But the AI part, I looked at it and it was almost a 20-minute video because I wanted to actually show you the practical features and some of the things that I could do with the Gemini AI, and that video was almost 18 minutes long. So I thought of splitting that video into a second part dedicated to the AI features and the Gemini assistant. So I've moved that to a different video. I'll have the link for that one in the description so that you can check it out. Anyways, thanks for watching this video.